Hello there. I literally finished making my 7-part series, a clarification of my views of the Quran, Islam and so forth, at 3 o'clock this morning. It is now 10:15 in the evening, British summertime, and so in less than a day I have seen 3 videos that confirm everything that I was saying, underscore everything that I was saying. These 3 are the final exclamation mark. First of all, X the Peach XXX, I'll link her down in the description box. Her video, Burn a Quran Day. One fundamentalist Islamophobic church in Gainesville, I believe it was, the leader of which has already written a book, Islam is of the Devil, something along those lines, has organised Burn a Quran Day because it'll still be illegal to burn Muslims. In the video she goes on to point out the fact that yes, when Christian terrorists commit atrocities in the name of Christianity, they're not true Christians, but when 19 hijackers attack the World Trade Center, the Pentagon, and fail to strike a 4th target, that is the personification of Islam, that is the true definition of Islam. I ask everyone to watch that video and to subscribe to her channel. I haven't put her in the cool box yet. I think it's called the list of channels that I recommend, but I will do that as soon as I've uploaded this. Second video I wish to recommend then that pretty much underscores what I was saying. Loving Doubt, a former Pentecostal Christian, now an atheist. This is part 6 of her series of videos, Journey to Atheism, called Questioning a Rule. She was taught in the Pentecostal church that all of the rules by which they live, all of the rules which they are required to obey by the command of God, were based on Scripture, were based on biblical text. So imagine her surprise when she actually looked up the text for herself, looked up the justification for herself, and found that there was nothing. Well, actually, there was one passage, one verse from Deuteronomy, and that was it. The rest was all morality, culture, preaching, and control. This is point 2. That people point to the Quran and say it's Islam. The vast majority of what we call Islam, the religion, has nothing to do with the Quran. It is the misinterpretation. It is the twisting. It is the paraphrasing of the Quran. It is taking the text, just as feminists do, just as animal rights activists do, just as any group does. Anyone looks at something and sees what they want to see. Yes, these Christians believe that there is a deliberate separation of the sexes, that the men should work, the women should stay at home and have children, that the women are subservient to the men, and as a mark of this, women should never wear trousers. This woman, Loving Doubt, was literally going to quit her job because she was required to wear trousers. So she looked up the basis of the rule that women are not allowed to wear trousers, and the only thing she could find was a biblical scripture which could more properly be applied to cross-dressing. Since when is wearing trousers cross-dressing, according to the leaders of this Pentecostal church? It was because they are sexist, fundamentalist pig fuckers. Excuse me, Cat 1981, England. I know you think I'm aggressive, but the best is yet to come. Claiming that they are following God's rule when they are only following their own bigotry. The point though, the Christians, yes, many Christians are just as oppressive, if not more oppressive towards women than the vast majority of Muslims. But this brings me on to the third video. A bigoted, judgmental, holier-than-thou, willfully ignorant, labelling, stereotyping, ivory tower ramble by Dynamite Ruby whilst she's having her lunch. Again, I'll link you down in the description box. Dynamite Ruby, lunch ramble, the burqa, a symptom of a much bigger problem. This smug, self-righteous, arrogant, holier-than-thou, condescending bitch has the sheer audacity to claim, she states quite bluntly, the first 2 minutes is just rambling. Get on with it! Put the sandwich down and get to the point! But even if every nation on earth, including Iran, Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, was to ban the burqa, it's too late because the damage has been done. The women have already been indoctrinated. She goes on to describe how the women are the innocent victims of the culture, and let's not, the real issue, the real problem, we all know what that is, don't we? Begins with an I, the middle is a Islam, and the end is Ophobia! It does. She grudgingly accepts that some women, especially in Western countries, choose to wear the burqa. But no. Every single woman in the Islamic world is raised, taught, indoctrinated to believe that it is required. She tells anecdotes about 13, 14-year-old girls burning to death in a fire because they weren't wearing their headscarf when the rescuer came. What about the case of the young boy in Oregon, I think it was? He was lost in the woods for 6 days. He almost died of dehydration because he'd been taught to be terrified of strangers, so whenever a rescue team came near him, he would run away. But no, this is about the religion being evil, isn't it? This is about all Muslim men. It grudgingly crosses her mind that maybe, and that maybe some women somewhere are choosing to do it, but the vast majority have been indoctrinated, you cunts! You have the smug, self-righteous arrogance to praise one woman in Houston, I think it was, works in the oil industry. She wears a burqa because then, not being able to see her body, she's forcing the men to only look at her brain. They don't have any other choice. It's because she doesn't want to be ogled. She doesn't want to be seen as a woman. She wants to be seen as an equal. But when women in the Middle East choose to wear a burqa for exactly the same reasons, so that they won't be seen as sex objects, they are oppressed, they are indoctrinated, you self-righteous cunt! Oh, I have unsubscribed from you, oh God! You are... For God's sake, you are the woman who stood up in defence of the sex industry. Have you read Andrea Dworkin, her firmly held belief that all heterosexual sex is rape, that women are indoctrinated from birth to believe that having sex with men is a good thing, that naturally women have no need or desire to be anywhere near these filthy, lecherous pigs? or your arguments in favour of the sex industry. The arguments that the women who claim to choose that they are working as porn stars, working as strippers, working as escorts, whatever, they have been indoctrinated to believe that. Indoctrination is a word used by smug labelling hypocrites. The burqa, the sex industry, completely incompatible. I've used this example before and I'm going to have to use it again until every one of you self-righteous pig fuckers gets it through your head that just because you do not like it, it is not evil. An escort slash prostitute slash call girl, whatever you want to call her, called burqa girl. She is an Arab Muslim. She chooses to wear a burqa in public because she believes that women who expose too much flesh are dishonouring all women, are dishonouring womanhood itself. Would you believe the fact that the vast majority of Muslim women believe, especially in the Middle East, believe that Western women are exploited, forced to wear miniskirts and boob tubes, other scanty clothing for the pleasure of lecherous men? But no, she personally believes that wearing the burqa, that is her personal choice, but behind closed doors she will take it off and have sex for money. This idea of the burqa, you are a hypocrite once for saying that the burqa is oppressive, full stop, that it is the symbol of oppression. You are a hypocrite twice for saying that a woman in Houston wearing it so that men won't ogle her, so that men will have to deal with her as a brain, as a faceless person instead of as a woman, a sex object, is good, is noble, is fighting for the sisterhood, is fighting for equality, but women who do it in the Middle East and in the rest of the Islamic world are oppressed. And you are a hypocrite 3 times because you failed to understand, as I pointed out before, where the oppression of women is not defined by whether or not she wears a burqa. You honestly have the fucking guts to state that women wear burqas because they've already been burned or scarred or otherwise disfigured for choosing not to wear a burqa in the past. The only reason they wear a burqa is to cover the scars on their faces. You... Again, I apologise to Cat1981 England. I know that this person finds my aggression to be, my violent temper to be a turn-off, but for God's sake! Condescending, bigoted hypocrisy wears many masks. There is none so dangerous as the mask of virtue. The freedom to ban whatever you dislike. The freedom to condemn and label whatever you dislike. You would never choose to wear a burqa. I would never choose to wear a burqa. Some women, some men would. And no, I am not saying that there is no oppression, but again, remember the point. Excuse me, I almost forgot this entirely. The burqa has got nothing to do with the Quran, just as wearing skirts has nothing to do with the Bible. The Quran says to dress modestly. That is it. A bigoted misogynist is a bigoted misogynist whether they are Muslim, Christian or atheist.